Okay, so it has taken a long time to get all of what I'm trying to do together. Like, long story short, this should be like the third or fourth video that I've made, but uh, it's the first that I'm. Well, it's the second. The first one needs to go down. Basically, yesterday was Saturday, and I spent the entire day looking for solutions to how to record this correctly. Because actually, as it turns out, when you're using Camtasia, it doesn't really record correctly. You can record the webcam, and you can record the webcam's mic audio, and then there's a switch, bleh, a toggle to record the system audio. So the system audio, uh, you would think includes what the DAW puts out. But the thing is that the DAW, being Ableton right now, it uses ASIO as a sound driver, and what happens is there's no output from ASIO to Windows System Sound. Um, so it ends up not being able to record anything that Ableton puts out. So in making videos like this, it's a problem because I can't show you what my song sounds like in real time, which kind of defeats the purpose of the video. So I fucking tried a million workarounds. I did like research on Google for like 4 hours or 5 hours yesterday. Like I initially made like had a 2 hour like research session and then like made an hour and a half long recording session thinking that my setup was good, and then an hour and a half later I start editing and kind of notice like, wait, I'm missing something, and realizing that it recorded or that my workaround got all the keyboard inputs, but it didn't get any of the Ableton sound, so you had heard like the sounds going in but nothing coming out. So I banged my head against a wall a few times and didn't find a solution yesterday, but I found one now. I have, should I pick it up or should I point the camera at it? I should put the camera at it. Okay, I'm still getting new to this. There's my keyboard, and, oh, forget it, I'll just pick it up. There we go. It is that guy right there. I have my keyboard. Hello, this is awkward. Going out to basically like an audio input device. I don't know what to call it right now. So basically what my setup is right now is I have Camtasia recording the webcam and the mic in the webcam and the visuals of the DAW. But the audio from the DAW is being recorded right now in Audacity in the background. I have it set up to like directly pick up the audio output that's going to the Alesis IO2. Um, so uh, what I end up with is two audio files that are desynced, and I need to do like syncing at the beginning of my videos. So I have like a section that hopefully gets edited out, where I'm just like I have like a keyboard like with like a weird face, and I'm just like fucking record, do it, and that's how I'm syncing up my sounds right now. So this is the best solution I've been able to find so far. The other options were to disable ACO in Ableton, which just leads to having an excessive, ridiculous amount of latency when you're putting inputs. And it just makes the DAW kind of worthless. Like, you can't work in an environment like that where you hit a key and bah, and then you would hear the sound, kind of a thing. And then the other option was apparently there's some software that, if I'm going to paraphrase poorly, it basically creates a port, an audio port that you can select. That's what the whole thing does. It like digitally simulates an audio output that you can select from drop-down menus and work with. Uh, and I don't have $50 right now. Plus, I figured I'd find a cheaper workaround eventually. So hopefully this is it. Alright, so where we're supposed to be so far in the series is I have found like a source of audio and I've cut it up and I've sampled it a whole bunch. Like, that's how we got here. Like, this series was supposed to be, last video was supposed to start with like blank, like Ableton stuff. And if you'll notice, I have a whole bunch of toys all over here. And that was all made within the hour and a half section of my last video, which was supposed to be like you know, little bits and pieces of me putting this stuff together and then way fast forwarding the rest, so it was like, you know, manageable and watchable. But here we are. And I guess this has got to be the video where I catch you up, because I haven't been able to like actually document the parts getting here, and I really don't want to like remake those videos artificially, you know, from scratch, because it was a lot of work. So this is just kind of a brief like review of like where we've been, or technically where I've been, because I haven't been able to share with you where we've been. Words. Yeah. So where I started was with this. It's a button poetry reading by a guy named Shane Koizan. And yeah, I mispronounced that. But yeah, he did this poetry reading, and I fell in love with the poem. It's called "Remember How We Forgot," and I wanted to slice it up and sample it. So I recorded this into Audacity, and basically ended up with a file I could work with. All right, so this is Audition, which is just an amazing program. I was working with recently. I used it a lot in my last job, and basically what I did was I pulled the file into here, and this is the whole poetry reading right here. And basically I ran through, and what you can do is there's a section for markers here, and basically you can set ranges. Let's see if I can find something that's better. Let's see. Let's do this guy. Right. Okay. And I went through and I listened, you know, to the actual audio file, you know. By the way, he has like a violinist doing stuff behind him. It's awesome. Um, and I basically went through and grabbed chunks like this so that I could sample them and turn them into music. So what you can do in Audition is you can go through and you know, make these markers, make these sections, and then there's a button right here. Where is it? Export audio of selected range markers to separate files. What that does is you select all of the markers that you want, and it creates an individual audio file with the marker name for each marker section that you have. So that was a fun episode that probably I'm glad that you missed, which was just me going through and like cutting this all up. So if you notice, I have a lot of audio files from this. I think I have like 70 something or 80 plus different markers, so 80 plus different like sound files from this. So exported all those. Let's close this out. So what I did when I brought that into Ableton is I grabbed from the instruments list a drum rack, an empty drum rack, and I put it over here, and I populated each one of these little buttons. You know, each one of these is a trigger. Usually it's supposed to be like you hit a key and a drum sound hits, like kind of in the same way that like on a keyboard, you know, you can try, you know, trigger drums that way. But instead of drum hits, I'm triggering these samples that I made from that file. So what I end up with is something like this, like something like this. Better. Um, so that was going to be the end of episode 1. And basically, the episode 2 of this whole mess was me starting to work with this keyboard setup and actually make some loops of the chopped up audio. I guess I'll just like show you what clips I have so far. So just going down, like this one was just a section, like just raw of the original file, and it just functions really well as its own loop. So I just kind of kept it as like, what was it, a 1-bar phrase. That's just that note on loop. So we were here. We were here. Right? Stuff like that. What else? Right? So you're getting kind of the vibe that I went for, the vibe that I managed to get out of this. And this was the main, right? So this was originally the main theme that I had rolling, but you know how music goes. I've been sitting on this loop for so long, I hate it. Welcome to making music. So I've had to make a whole bunch of other ones because I'm bored of this. So I like the texture that's coming out of this stuff. My problem is linking all of this together because it has different feels, right? Let's try this one. Right? You're getting kind of like the vibe that I'm going for here, you know? And I wanted this to kind of be the outro. Just like it melts. So, like I said, I was sitting on this clip for like the longest time, right? Wait, what's going on? There we go. Sorry, I've been having trouble with automation. Every time I do a pitch bend on here, it like messes with the original tracks. So I'm trying to figure that one out. And CJ or anybody, if you know what's going on there, like help a brother out. It's this little button right here is magical. I haven't figured out how to use that magic yet. So like I said, I was sitting on this riff right here for the longest time. And I kind of used it to get an idea for where the drums go. So from there, I ended up opening up Addictive Drums, which, thanks for the hand-me-down, is this guy, basically. Pretty cool. As opposed to like the built-in stuff on here, because the built-in stuff on here is okay, but like I prefer something like that. That just has better audio quality. Although in the future, I'm probably gonna go. It's way better as like a video game drum kind of a thing, what's built into the Roland. But for now, I decided to go with the Addictive Drums, and basically over this, before you go insane, this was the original groove that I had. Right. But I decided to simplify. So I was happy-ish with this for a second, you know how music goes, you get sick of things pretty quick. So then I started messing around. So my thing right now is I'm stuck here. I don't know where to go from here. Well, I mean, as far as like where this goes, some of these other ones work with these drums in different ways. Like you end up with like a different feel. anyways, that's where I'm at so far. Is I have the slices, I have the drums, I'm working on the bass, and this is basically the catch-up video to basically get you where I'm at right now with this project. So, toodles.